we're at the beginnings of about 10 or 20 years of rapid innovation through politics, through government, through the economy, through society. The overarching framework that's going to drive it, from my perspective, is climate change and essentially all the implications of that. From an American perspective, it's essentially a reinvention of America at some level. I think the Obama election was one clear sign that there's something really fundamental and different happening over here. The last 25 years has been essentially a conservative political era. Conservative political eras tend to squeeze the juice out of the old systems or maintain the status quo or the kind of traditional ways or the previous system's way of working. I think what's happened is with the crash of the global economy, the fall of Lehman Brothers and GM, I think we're really watching the collapse of that old system and that old kind of politics around it, and I think you're watching the beginning of a new politics and a new kind of system building, which is going to take about 10 or 20 years. What drives these transformational eras, what drives them are basically two things that happen. There's deep structural changes happen to the economy and society at such a fundamental level that the old system doesn't work. The second thing that happens is you get a series of unprecedented challenges that previous generations never even had to think about. And climate change is the perfect example of this, and probably the first among equals of all these challenges is climate change. You know, human beings are changing the climate of the planet, and when you change the climate of the planet, it has incredible implications for all systems. And because of that, also, it is an incredibly complex challenge and one that we've never had to even contemplate at this scale. Those two pieces drive these openings where the old politics collapses and the new one has to basically get reinvented very rapidly. If you're going to solve these huge problems with all this complexity, you're going to have to find a way to tap into this incredibly rich, incredibly diverse, incredibly kind of endowed group of human beings. It just so happens that you actually have tools through, you know, all the internet-ties tools and particularly collaborative tools that are starting to come online now, that actually you can do this. And again, do this for the first time ever in human history. You've got your own kind of unprecedented challenge for your company. You have these resources out there, both in your company and outside your company, that you can really tap into using a lot of these new tools. You'll just be much better positioned to succeed and thrive.